To the day's COVID news, and Victoria's caseload has jumped by 79, with more infections to be added to the official count tomorrow. Shepparton continues to be the focus of the fight against the outbreak, but authorities are concerned the virus is on the move after a positive case emerged 70 kilometres away in Echuca. Bridget Rollison reports.
Help has arrived in Shepparton. These ADF members have been sent in to get food packages to people stuck in isolation.
We're hoping that we can at least get of the level of 400 out today.
And they've been joined by an army of volunteers.
Hi Nicola, it's Cheryl. Good, how are you?
Many residents have gone days without food and essential groceries.
I've been trying for the last 4 days to do an online delivery. We can't get a delivery anywhere. I finally got one and then it got cancelled at the last minute.
But 8 days into the regional city's outbreak, health authorities say the threat is far from over. 10 new cases were announced today and more positives will be confirmed in tomorrow's figures.
In some regards, we're not quite on top of it.
Adding to the concern, the virus has spread to other regional areas. An aged care home in Echuca on the Murray River is now in lockdown after a worker tested positive.
The community is on high alert. Echuca is 45 minutes from Shepparton. We have many young people go to school in Shepparton. Then we have people work across both areas.
This private aged care worker is fully vaccinated.
Many thousands of Shepparton residents will remain in isolation this weekend. Among them are members of Victoria's biggest Indigenous population at Rumballara, as well as a large number of refugees, many from Afghanistan and Iraq, who face additional challenges under lockdown. The Tuna family has been in isolation since last Friday after a case at their daughter's school. But while they have support from friends and family, other migrants, especially those that don't speak English, are struggling.
Our seasonal workers, casual workers, people on bridging visas, temporary visas that don't have access to government supports.
But this is a community that's used to looking out for each other. Cafe owner Azem Almaz is still coming to work, providing free meals and supplies to those who need it.
Help people, need the help now, reach out there, and because we don't know what will happen tomorrow, table can turn around.
In tackling adversity, every kebab helps.
And Bridget Rollison joins us live from Shepparton. Bridget, the cases continue to climb there. So what's the outlook like as the city heads into its second week of this outbreak?
Well, there is some good news, Mary. Allvale Primary School, which is just outside Shepparton, has been downgraded to a Tier 2 site. That means around 500 residents who are currently in isolation will be freed once they return a negative result. The COVID commander, Jerome Weimer, says they're looking at reviewing other exposure sites in the coming days. But the real concern tonight, Mary, is that the virus appears to be on the move. There are 4 cases in Merrigum, which is about half an hour from Shepparton, and there are also cases in Kyabram and Echuca. So regardless of where you are in Victoria, keep checking that list.
Indeed, Bridget Rollison, thank you. Star jockey Jamie Carr will miss the whole Spring Racing Carnival after she and 3 other jockeys were handed 3-month suspensions for COVID protocol breaches. A steward's report found Carr and fellow jockeys Ben Melham, Celine Gaudray and Ethan Brown breached protocols and Melbourne's curfew at a gathering at a Mornington Airbnb. Carr was set to be one of the faces of the carnival following a stunning season in which he won the Melbourne Metropolitan Jockey Premiership.
To have senior members of our racing community breach the protocols and show such disrespect to everyone else in that industry is extremely disappointing.
Carr has apologised and accepted the ban, saying she's deeply embarrassed and disappointed with herself. Elsewhere in the state, authorities are focusing their attention on Melbourne's west, where this outbreak began more than 3 weeks ago. And while authorities continue the push for people to get a jab, it seems the demand to get vaccinations still exceeds the supply. Talia Olatia has more.
This Greek church may be closed for services, but it has swung the doors open to help drive up vaccinations in Thornbury.
It was nice to have something local and just People resonate with the church.
I just brought my daughter, she's 18, down to get her first shot, which is great.
The government has set an ambitious target of administering 1 million jabs through its state-run hubs over 5 weeks. A fortnight in, they've hit 300,000 doses. But vaccination rates will have to set new records for the challenge to succeed.
Hesitancy is not a problem with Victorians in those age groups who want to come forward and get vaccinated.
79 cases were recorded today. 46 of those were in the western suburbs.
We're seeing that ongoing grumbling transmission around Newport, around Wyndham, in those inner western suburbs, and that's really where we need to concentrate all of our efforts and focus.
Doctors are urging the government to give more vaccines to GPs. Hoppers Crossing GP Dr Nada Abu Saif won't get Pfizer at his clinic until mid-September.
Our demographics are young, so in terms of maximising the rollout, availability of vaccines out here is critical.
He says there's also concerns from some about visiting a hub with hundreds of people, despite it being safe.
It's also the comfort of knowing the person that's giving it to you, or having your questions answered.
Another question that Victorians desperately want answered is whether Lockdown 6 will end next Thursday. Health officials remain tight-lipped on that front.
The Andrews government is not providing any hope or any plan to Victorian parents, children and their teachers.
There are further requirements for those coming into Victoria from overseas or interstate. They'll be required to get tested after they leave hotel quarantine on day 17. This will include a large intake of Afghan refugees, mostly unaccompanied minors who have arrived in recent days. Talia Olatia, ABC News, Melbourne.